Many people struggle to find balance in their daily lives, and Bungie very much so struggles to find balance in their gosh dang Crucible. I mean, we all know that, and people are always looking for the next busted thing, but me personally, I just try to use the guns and kits that I actually enjoy. And this one right here, the Warlock, is what I think is the most balanced in the entire game. I've said it for a long time, but almost everything in this kit has a good trade-off. Of course, I love using Blink, but the trade-off there is if you're not using Astrosight Burst, well, then you're not going to have as good as Blinks. Even still, it's very good, but it's not like a regular little float where you can just keep putting your boots on the ground and then instantly get your float back. So you do need to know how to actually use this ability to the best of your ability, just to make it frank there, if you want to actually flourish the best you can. Pocket Singularity here. It's a very good tracking ability. It can make people volatile, push them away, and lock down kills very easily without having to do too much aiming. But at the same time, it doesn't do as much damage as something like Sacred Flame flying across the map is going to. And not to mention over here, we have something like Axiom Bolts, which are my favorite nades in the entire game, but they can very easily be dealt with by just shooting them really quickly. A good player can make them very usable and good use out of them by pinching their enemies with them, but they're very easy to counter if you just take one bullet out of your mag. Over on our aspects, there's things like Feed the Void, which is just like a kill perk, such as Kill Clip on a gun. If you want to get use out of this, you have to actually take somebody out, unless you're using a build like Seek and Filaments, which most people are not going to be doing. And then over here, we have Chart of the Old Gods. People think this thing is really overpowered, and I think that's just because it's very strong and annoying. Like, it is a very strong ability, more so it's just annoying. He sucks your little cheeks, but let's be honest, it's pretty similar to these Axiom Bolts, and it's not even as annoying as a stasis turret in my opinion. You can easily shoot this thing down and then just like that, it's gone. And that's why I'm saying with this kit, I like it a lot. Things like the Nova Bomb here, it has a pretty long cooldown on it, so even though it can be a very good shutdown, it's still going to take a while to get. And that's why overall I think this is the most balanced class in the entire game. So we're going to be using that today in Trials. Even though it is the most balanced, it's also just my favorite. Obviously, the classic Blink Lock, you just can't go wrong with it. For the rest of the build, we are going to be using my favorite gun in the entire game, my favorite primary at least, I should say, which is the Sunshot. I love this thing so much. I use it a lot. You can see a lot of Crucible opponents defeated on this thing. I always come back to it, and I had a very good time this weekend, especially with the explosive payload type of bullets on it. It doesn't really matter as much if you have that crazy range like most 140s, and it is our last remaining 150 in the game, so that's always fun too. We also have the Someday Shotgun. I did a video on this god roll right here, but in my opinion, this is the god roll. This is what I use. I use Barrel Shroud, Accurized Rounds, Threat Detector, and Opening Shot. Very good stuff right here. The handling feels amazing. Max range with that enhanced opening shot when you do have that procced. And then of course with the Astrosight, you can just pull it out of that max handling every time you're coming out of a blink, stuff like that. Feels amazing, looks amazing with this nice little Trials Memento on there. If you want to go back and watch that god roll review, you can watch that next if you want to. I'll try to put that on the end screen for you. For the mods over here, pretty simple stuff, same as usual. We got our targeting, we got our unflinching, we have our firepower, we have our heavy-handed, and then of course our Reaper mods, which, hey, again, these are some very balanced mods where if you want to actually proc these, you got to get kills, so that makes sense too. But when you make those orbs, what you want to do, you want to put on something like Absolution, Innervation, and Orbs of Restoration. Pause at any point if you do want to read any of these mods more in depth, but it just gives you ability energy back, stuff like that. Same thing with 2 bomber mods, which have been very much so nerfed nowadays, but with 2 of them on, you do get 17% of your grenade energy back every time you use a rift, which we really can't sleep on. Hopefully you do enjoy the gameplay today. Of course, I'm going to give you some nice little commentary over the gameplay, telling you what I like so much about this class, and just breaking down the plays that are in front of your eyes. So hopefully you can learn how to use Blink if you want to do that, and just really learn how to be better at the game, or just enjoy some fun gameplay while I chat in your nice little ears. Either way, hopefully you guys do enjoy the video. If you do at any point, leave me a like or subscribe. I'd very much appreciate that. But with all that out of the way, I think we're ready to get into it. So let's go ahead and blink on in. And my bad, I completely forgot to show you guys the fragments here really quick. So we have Echo of Dilation, of course, one of my favorite echoes in the entire game. Has also some pretty good trade-off there because you don't get an increased radar resolution unless you're crouched, but you do crouch sneak faster, which is fun too, and some good flap stats there. Of course, we have Echo of Persistence, and that's the next big thing. This one is going to give you longer in your Devour. The initial proc goes from 10 seconds to 15 seconds, so we love to see that. But same thing as over here, Echo of Vigilance, which gives you a overshield when you kill somebody while your shields are actually depleted. Well, they both take away recovery, so just these two, you're going to lose minus 20 recovery, which is another big balancing point of this kit and something you don't see often. Last but not least, I do love Echo of Expulsion, which gives us some more intellect. And with my current stats right now, I'm sitting at 7 int, which is pretty nice. You'll actually see me getting some Nova Warp in this game today, the gameplay today, which is pretty funny. But this thing is just nice for people that are holding hands, hit them with the Axiom Bolt, they blow up. Very nice stuff right there. Now, coming into this weekend, I had not played for like 2.5 weeks because I didn't play at all during Iron Banner, which is why I mispressed one of my keys right there and threw my Axiom Bolt. Oops, that's okay. You'll see in this round. I don't even need it anyways. I still slay out without it. But yeah, I was definitely just wondering, you know, how's it going to be? Because sometimes, in kind of what happened today, is once I take a little break from Destiny and I come back, I usually play a little better because I kind of get my head cleared and I don't really deal with the BS that's happening in Crucible every single day. And then I come back and I just have a better conscience of it all. I can just play my game and not worry too much and just focus on getting warmed back up. And really, when you're not focusing on it, like over focusing on it, I feel like that's when you play the best, at least for me. And so this week I was feeling pretty fun. In this first couple matches at least, I didn't have the best teammates. I was getting like 18 kills per match, 15 kills per match. And I, don't love that, but at the same time, it was kind of nice because it was like, all right, the onus is on me, and if I don't perform, then I'm not gonna win. Like a round like this, and I'm gonna show you right there. You're like, where'd all your health just go? I mean, I kind of want to talk about Blink a little bit. I don't really teach you guys how to use your Blink as much nowadays, but this is a good video to kind of do it since we're covering the base and probably the best way to use Blink in the game, just straight up Astrocyte burst Blink Void Lock, right? Right there, if you get stuck in a smoke bomb, you can hit something called a Blink Pop-Up Slam. I have an entire video of it. In fact, I have an entire playlist on my channel, The Ultimate Blink Journey. I think it's something called like that. I don't know, I haven't shouted it out in a while, but you can go find that playlist, and there's so many different videos teaching you how to use Blink, different techniques and whatnot, and I have a couple of videos about Blink pop-ups. I can't even talk right now. Blink pop-ups. There's different kinds of pop-ups. There's pop-up floats, where you can actually make yourself float really high. I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. And then there's just Blink pop-up slams, which is kind of what I got out of that smoke bomb. It's a very annoying interaction, and with smoke bombs being so much more prevalent right now, it's not very fun. But I just wanted to show you guys that and show you, I mean, obviously I did well in that round too. Couldn't quite clutch it up, but still had a good round there. I mean, even in chat, I had these guys, and I was just curious because they were doing nothing. The 2 rounds we had won so far are the ones that I was showing you, and I was just like, all right, I kind of just want to see if they're new players, right? I'm just curious. I didn't need to say anything mean about it. So I was just like, hey, are you new players? And this guy's like, no, I'm not new. I'm just a PvE player, so I'm bad. And I was just like, okay, I just ended up with a no problem. And then I was like, I guess I'm gonna try my best to carry, and I do. I go really hard on this, and I actually didn't even realize I was not paying attention to my loadout enough that I still had Nova Warp on instead of a Nova Bomb. So I was going in trying to charge a Nova Warp instead, and you're going to see after this round, I actually end up doing it. So I was able to clutch up this round, make it to a 4-3, and then I get my Nova Warp in this next round. Teammate actually helped on this one, so awesome, good job teammate. And get the Nova Warp in this round, which is pretty crazy. You're not going to see a roaming super like that very often in Trials of Osiris, but it was happening. They also had the special ammo messed up a little bit at the beginning of this weekend, so there was these crates spawning, and then you could carry ammo over between rounds. It was a whole freaking mess. I kind of liked it, honestly, because I could just shotgun way more liberally and not have to worry about, oh, well, I'm out of shotgun ammo, and now I gotta transmat some more, and well, maybe I should keep 2 for this next round so that I don't waste them and that I can't make a crazy shotgun play. I was like, no, I can just use my shotgun and then pick up some more here and carry it over to this round. It was great. Sometimes I'd have 5 pieces of shotgun ammo. It just felt awesome, and I was getting a freaking Nova Warp right here too, so it was just everything was really cool then. They did fix it by now, so it's back to regular checkmate trials with ammo transmat, just in case you're wondering. But hey, let's keep talking about this gameplay, because I honestly started warming up pretty well. I feel like I was hitting my shots quite well. I was hitting some nice taps with this Sunshot here, and just playing my kit really well, going back to my classic play style. People are hiding behind threaded specters like this guy. I almost broke it. Wanted to check my radar really quick. Someone come on behind me, so I was like, screw it. I'm not going to deal with the guy behind me. I'm just going to push forward with my shotgun, see if I can actually get a kill here. Luckily, someone did good damage, so I was able to kill him. Spawn Orb of Power with our heavy-handed mod. Blink behind this guy as I knew he was going to push up, and then try to slide into him so I can easily map him with a shotgun, take him out with a nice melee, and blink towards the last person, which I know is fighting my teammates, so I can hit him with my Sunshot a little bit. He had a nice dodge there, and I did some nice damage to him as well, and that's when I had to go to kind of to chase mode, because I knew I probably would have to pick up this kill, but I also had to keep in mind where the reses were. I didn't just want to cap, because my teammates were not very trustworthy, and I knew he was probably going to get reses, so I just spread out as much damage as I could right there, and then let my teammates actually peek, and they did, and they picked up some nice kills right there. They couldn't quite get this guy. I guess they're not, built to look 5 degrees upwards, which is fine. Not everybody has that neck strength. That you got to work that out, babe. You know what I mean? When I'm looking up at your mommy all night while she's sitting on my face, that's really how I work out my neck muscles. So not everybody has that actual pedigree to go ahead and get that done, but I understand that. It's completely fine. Daddy's there. He picks up the pieces, he picks up the Legos so you don't step on them in the morning. But I was feeling quite good, and I was just getting the most solid blink plays too. Some nice taps on that guy. Blinking, of course. The best thing about your blink is the amount of aggression you can just wreak upon your enemies. at a speed that they're not going to be used to, and usually at angles that they're not going to be used to as well. There's not much cues to let people know that you're going to be blinking on them, except for obviously the radar pings, and then of course the sound. People don't really think about that sound too much, and they don't think about sound cues too much in Destiny at all, but they are a pretty important part of the game if you really are tryharding, to be honest with you. Now, I was doing it for things like this. Using my blink, I love to get flanks like this. I'm gonna run around at the side of these guys, do some damage, take out two, look for the last guy, throw my Axiom Bolt out there, and then use my blink to get away from that cover. He was kind of someone that was ability spamming a lot, so I was like, you know what? I'm really low on critical health right now. I'm just gonna use my Astro Blink to get completely across this lane without even being visible for a single second, and then boom, he can't hit me with anything. My teammates take him out. Perfect. Stuff like this. You wanna blink towards a high traffic area of the map, place down your actual rift so you can grab clearance, and what I like to do, and I haven't talked about this for a while because I've been using Prismatic, but especially on anything with a rift, but this especially, I like to leave my rifts somewhere as sort of a checkpoint. I use them to spawn a Clarence, which is my Shower of the Old Gods, by the way. If you don't know, my Shower of the Old Gods, his name is Clarence. That's my son from the Void. And what I do is I spawn him, use him so I can get him on top of somebody, lockdown area, just like right there, get a pick, weaken my enemies, slow them, and then I can push in like this. And if I ever really need to heal, I'll either have my Devour from killing somebody with an ability, or I can fall back to my Rift, which is going to stay there for around 15-ish seconds, and just heal myself up and then get back into the swing of battle. And that's what you're looking to do. And that's what I love so much about this Blink playstyle. You're using it to get the most weird angles upon your enemies and pushing them at such weird cadences that they're just not used to. And nothing is going to throw somebody off like something that they're just not used to. We are all used to a Titan brain dead rushing at us with his overshield on and his peregrines on his feet. Everybody's used to that. What do? You backpedal and you smoke that kid harder than a fucking brisket in Mark Zuckerberg's backyard. It's simple as hell. But not as many people have that muscle memory built in, know how to actually counter a high skill Blink player. And so when people ask me, is Blink viable? I've gotten that question so many times over the years. It's probably one of the questions I've gotten the most. I'm always going to tell you yes, because anything in this game can be viable. It all comes down to the skill of the player and the work you're willing to put in to develop that skill. A lot of people are not. We see something like this, and you got to throw these Axiom Bolts in areas where you know people are going to be setting up. Right there, easy 2 orbs. Where did I know they were going to go? Well, right in that area. That's a very high traffic area. You throw your Axiom Bolt in there, you use your Blink to get around the map really quickly and flank where they're going to be running away from the Axiom Bolts. Axiom Bolts are so good, and why I think they are one of the best nades in the entire game is because you can use them to actually corral your enemies like a bunch of sheep in a Scotsman ass cheeks. And what you do is you cut off where they're running from the Axiom Bolt, you take shots with your gun, and then whether that Axiom Bolt hits or not, you're usually just going to get that kill either with your gun, or once the Axiom Bolt hits, it'll pick up the kill. If the Axiom Bolt gets the kill, cool. You spawn some Orbs of Power, and you also get Devour, and you can keep going balls to the wall with that extra Devour because you have that healing, which also gives you ability regeneration by the way. It's just an amazing little thing to do right there. And then I could keep following up, and I had Echo of Expulsion there, like I showed you guys in the intro, which means that when they died to that actual Axiom Bolt, they were doing a secondary explosion of Void Energy, which does a good amount of damage to the teammates around them. So when people are holding cocks like that, and they're just, putting on their cock rings because their wife bought them one for Valentine's Day. Oh, their best friend got one too, and they're magnetic. They can stick together like a friendship locket. Awesome. Unfortunately for them, they're going to stand right in my path that I'm coming in to absolutely smack their cheeks, and you just take them out. The Echo of Expulsion is going to proc, all that kind of stuff. That's what you're looking for, and that's what's so good about this kit. But, like I said in the intro too, there's a lot of trade-offs to that entire kit. Again, a good player usually when that Axiom Bolt lands, they're not going to give you the chance to go and flank around them immediately like that. They're not just going to run away like some scared little moron, because they can see their radar for 2 seconds and go, okay, nobody's close enough to me to absolutely kill me if I just take 2 seconds to shoot this Axiom Bolt. So what they're usually going to do is shoot the Axiom Bolt, and then they're just going to wait on their radar and see where you're pushing from, and then cut off your actual rotation. And that's the thing. That's what you need to actually remember, is higher skill players are not going to fall for stuff like that, and that's where the balancing point comes in, as well as most things in this game. That's where the balancing point comes in, because high skill players do know how to counter them. However, especially nowadays in Trials, as long as you're not running a flawed card, then the matchmaking's fine, as long as you're not running against cheaters, which you do a lot of the time. There's still a cheater epidemic, but it is what it is. If you're running against regular players, you're usually going to smack them with a build like this. I mean, hey, that's kind of something I want to run by you guys. I've been thinking about this video idea. Maybe I'd do like this kind of an on-camera video I was thinking of, which I've only ever done really one of those, which is my face reveal, which is like on my front page of my channel page. But I've never done anything else on camera for this channel specifically since then. But I had this idea where I kind of want to talk about Final Shape came out, and it has been one of, if not the best expansion, probably contending with Forsaken, of course, in Destiny history, in Destiny 2 history, we should say. But they didn't save PvP with it like they saved PvE. They brought so many good PvE changes, they brought us great campaigns, we all loved it, but they just didn't give a damn about PvP, and it's still in the shitter. And in fact, it was even worse. I mean, look at those first few weeks with Kvastov. Look at the still abuse that they didn't care to fix, and then we get 2 weeks of Iron Banner, which almost no actual players want 2 weeks of Iron Banner. It threw off everybody, and it especially screws over content creators, which, I know that's a selfish point, but it's one that I think we should make, because then again, even though it could be seen as a selfish point just because I am a content creator, I wasn't making content for a couple weeks there, which you guys enjoy because it was just Iron Banner, and I only make Trials content like a lot of other PvP content creators nowadays. There's just a lot of things that I want to talk about when it comes to PvP and how it's been so mishandled for so long, and it really didn't get any better, and in fact it got worse this season. So I was kind of thinking doing a video like that. I don't know, you guys let me know your opinions. It wouldn't be like usual. I'm trying not to do the thing that I have done in the past nowadays, where I just mindlessly rant on the game and shit on it just because it's annoying me, perhaps. But instead trying to make sure that whenever I do dunk on the game, I'm giving my explicit reasons for why I'm doing so. And that's why I think a video like that could be good, especially for non-PvP players, even to come in and be like, oh wow, maybe they don't even realize how bad of a state it's in and how bad of a decision making is for the PvP player base right now, because I feel like some people actually just don't. So I'd like to know your guys' opinions on that, and we'll see, maybe I'll throw something like that together. I've also been thinking maybe going back and maybe redoing some of my older Blink videos, because I have some old ones. Like my Blink movement guide is not very old, but there's some parts I could add to it, as well as maybe some of those Blink pop-up float, Blink pop-up slam videos we were talking about earlier. I could even update those, stuff like that. Like my Blink shotgun masterclass is a video I love, but Blink Hunter didn't even exist at the time when I made that, you know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that. Like I think my beginner's guide to Blink, I don't think Blink Hunter existed then. It's just been a while, and I haven't had as much creative want to make things for this game for quite a while now, and that's because PvP's been in such a bad state, so it kind of loops back to what I was originally talking about before. But if I ever can, I'm thinking that'd be kind of cool, because I don't know, I've been enjoying making content more this season sometimes, just because I've been trying to change my own mindset on it and just enjoy it to a certain degree more so, and just play my game and still complain. Obviously, I'm not going to stop doing that until they actually fix the damn game. They deserve to hear complaints. But not be too stuck on things that I know are not going to change, I suppose, is the way that I really want to describe it. But I think updating some of those old videos could be kind of cool, because there's a lot of Blink tech that's just I could actually put in one big video. There's even some new Blink tech that we've found lately, with staircases and stuff, even on this map. And you can do a Blink pop-up slam on your own, and then you can slam off a ramped thing like a staircase and launch yourself across the map with some momentum. It's a really cool technique, but I have never shown it off explicitly in a video, because I just haven't made one where it was actually showing something like that. I think last year I made a 2023 State of Blink, and I kind of wanted to make a 2024 State of Blink, and I wanted to do that months ago. But then I stopped playing. I took a couple month Destiny break, and I just never ended up making the video. But it could be cool to still revisit that idea and make that video. So if you guys are interested in really any of these ideas, mainly what I'm saying them out loud for is feedback, because obviously a creator doesn't want to make anything if they're not going to have an audience for it. But if that's something you guys would be interested in, then I'd really like to know that, because interest from an audience is at least for me, my main motivator to making content. So when I see positive feedback, whether it be comments, likes, people just watching a lot of the video, and I mean actual watch time, because that's a big metric that even YouTube relies on, and a big metric that it relies on right now is your actual subscribers clicking through on your videos. And you guys have been actually really great about that this season. It's really helped me out. Had some very successful, in fact, maybe even one of my most successful videos this season, 17,000 views, which is freaking amazing. It probably has more than that by now. I haven't checked in a couple weeks here. But that's because you guys, my main viewer base, supported it. And you said, yeah, this is a good video. We're going to like it. We're going to like it. We're going to comment on it. We're going to engage with it. We're going to watch as much of it as we can. And that right there is what makes the videos pop. So if you're ever wondering, like, even just the smallest ways you can help, leave the comments. Sure. Leave the likes. If you're a lurker and you don't even want to leave a comment, I'm a lurker on most people's channels and stuff. Like, I don't leave comments often, but I always leave a like if I enjoy someone's content. Do that. It's the easiest way you can do it. And more than anything, click these videos through your subscription box. If you want like the easiest way ever, if you see my video and it pops up on your home screen, that's fine. It's still a good impression for me and it helps in the algorithm. But if you want an even easier way, go to your subscription feed and click the video through there. Because if you do that, YouTube really likes that. It's just a signal they really like right now. So I know I'm getting into some minutia, but just in case you want to know how to help even other creators you really enjoy, that's an easy way to do it. And we're just getting towards like the end of the video here. You can see the loot that I got from the lighthouse and my adept summoner that I did pick up. But I just wanted to kind of throw those things out there, some ideas of videos that I might want to work on, especially if I get your guys' explicit backing on them and understanding that you would support them, then I would very much appreciate that and be much more likely to actually go ahead and make those projects happen. So if that's something you guys want to see, let me know. And like I said, yeah, just keep supporting and I will keep making, because I've had a fun time so far this season and I'm excited to keep smacking out some trials and just enjoying the prismatic and all the guns that I've been liking and just chatting with y'all. So all that out of the way though, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video, and as always, have a great day, Guardians.